Greetings once again, pirates on the high seas. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with another chapter of One Piece, where previously we finally learned that Oimo and Kashin had only managed to put a stop to Dory and Brogy's fight in Little Garden simply because they said a proper battle for Elbath warriors to the death should involve weapons, and thus they returned home simply to pick up new ones. We also saw that Shanks and the red-haired pirates had traveled to the island of Gartel, where Bartolomeo and the Barto Club had burned the red-haired pirate's flag and tried to huck Straw Hat merchandise. Bartolomeo and his crew were defeated, and in what seemed to be a show of loyalty, or a test of loyalty I should say, Hongo presented what they said was poison to Bartolomeo, saying to have Luffy ingest it. Bartolomeo suddenly drank it, not wanting to do such a thing to Luffy, but also not wanting to trouble Luffy with something that he personally started. And while Shanks was overjoyed that Luffy would have compatriots who would be so faithful and loyal, there still had to be a price to be paid for doing what they did to Yonko territory. And thus, Yasopp, with one shot, manages to explode the Going Luffy Senpai, Bartolomeo's ship, with him and his crew aboard it, leaving their fate unknown. Dead? No. Absolutely not. But another big up-and-comer bites the dust, losing their ship and their status unknown. Meanwhile, Blackbeard has finally made his way back to the Beehive Island, where he's enraged by the fact that not just Kobe, but Gecko Moria had managed to escape. But he's overjoyed as they did manage to capture Garp. Garp is still alive, but injured and chained up, so Blackbeard has managed to gain an even bigger bargaining chip. We also learned the whereabouts of Lafitte, as he's at the Umit Shipping Company headquarters, observing the fact that the revolutionaries, after all these years, have set their plans into motion, doing everything they can to destroy every means of getting food up to Marijois, whether it be destroying shipments or destroying the gondolas that would bring the shipment of food up to the Celestial Dragon. We also have the arrival of Augur and Devon with Caribou from Egghead. So much is falling into Blackbeard's lap, and oddly enough, after 2 days of travel from Egghead, somehow the Thousand Sunny managed to separate off from the Great Eric, the ship of the giant warrior pirate, before they managed to reach Elba, while the newer 4 Straw Hats, namely Jinbei, Brook, Frankie, and Robin, are still aboard the giant warrior pirate ship alongside Lilith, Bonnie, and Kuma. The other Straw Hats disappeared along with the Thousand Sunny, and that's fresh after having drank absinthe, something known to cause hallucination, something that I was aware of beforehand and was told, don't drink that, it'll F you up. And sure enough, they got F'd up. We pick up with Nami, dressed in Elbath, Viking attire, in a room seemingly made out of Legos, a little bit more adjusted to her side. We must be in Elbath, but the area we're in is very strange. Well, when do we not arrive someplace that seems strange? It seems the Elbath arc has officially started. What dangers lie within? Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, One Piece, Chapter 1127, Adventure in the Land of Mystery. Every land is a land of mystery considering how we enter most of them. We see Yamato hanging by the beach, eating rice balls with Inuarashi, or Dogstorm, whatever you want to call him. It's Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 15. The kidnappings weigh heavily on Dogstorm. Daimyo of Curry. Oh, so he's become the new Daimyo of Curry. That's interesting because Nekomamushi is in a Daimyo too. So Inuarashi has taken over where Odin used to be. Interesting. Dandro has taken over Kibi in place of Fugetsu. That was the bigger daimyo that Yamato met in the cave. So there's still 3 other regions that we'd have to check in on. Yasue's territory, Ushimaru's territory, and Tempura's territory. And Kinemon is still hanging out in the flower capital, so the only other ones would be Kiku, Raizo, and Kawamatsu. Okay. Sorry, I got sidetracked by this. I was interested. Okay, at least that gives a bigger meaning to Inarashi and Nekamamushi kind of hanging behind to fill in the roles that were left empty because of the deaths of the previous daimyo. Still wondering who's perpetrating these disappearances. I had to think of the word. Alright, regardless. Oh, Elbath! Elbath! Wait, are all the buildings made of Legos? I mean, I know that Legos are a thing for the area where Vikings were, the various different kinds of Vikings, but, what does it mean that there are houses made out of building blocks? We see what seems to be several Vikings yammering in their town, saying, there's a fire, put it out with spring water. What is that smell? Is it from the forest? If it spreads to Yggdrasil, the world tree, then our country is finished. So we're just straight up seeing Yggdrasil. We should report to the sun god. What? Report to the sun god? Luffy? They say clearly there's some funny business afoot. There's no reason the Stingmores would have fallen from the sky otherwise. And we see giant bee-like creatures who seem to have been injured? One giant says, from what those in the forest say, that rumbling earlier was the sound of the ear god collapsing. What? Impossible. What could possibly cause that titanic rabbit to fall? So a massive rabbit? Is it Luffy and the others? As then we pick up in Big Stein Castle, which is also apparently made out of building blocks, where you hear Nami panicking saying, it's still alive. What is with these horrible giant bees? Zeus pops out of Nami's climb attack saying, good morning, Nami. Where are we? Nami says, I don't know. I thought we were riding on the giant ship. As we see a fried bug in the background, Nami, as we get a good look at her Elbath attire, says, someone come and save me. Luffy, Zoro, Sanji. I'll even settle for Usopp. That's just rude. Am I going crazy? I don't even remember changing. Where am I? Is this a dream? What castle is this? Someone peeks around the corner and says, hey, Nami. She turns saying, that's Usopp's voice. But she trips over the bumps of the building block. As she hits the floor, she says, ow, what's going on with the ground? It's all bumpy. She then hears something and looks up, seeing a hedgehog or a porcupine rounding the corner. Nami is in shock and then shouts, it's huge, shocking the porcupine, which causes its spikes to stick out. Or is it a hedgehog? I don't know. The creature suddenly gets angry and starts chasing her as Nami says, sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. She peeks back over the previous corner saying, Usopp, where are you? Usopp says, I'm down here. Oh, what the heck? A giant cat? What's with all the giant animals? Oh wait, Elbath, never mind. As we see Usopp sticking out of a giant cat's mouth saying, save me! Nami freaks out saying, you're supposed to save me. What is that monster? She turns saying, I'm in trouble over here too. What is this? Some kind of castle of monsters? As a giant hedgehog-like creature rushes towards her, she holds out her climb attack and says, extend, Zeus! Zeus says, I can do that, and shoots out, ramming into the creature. But the extension causes Nami to go over the side, and she says, well, I'm gonna fall. But as Zeus hits the creature, he charges up. As Nami says, whatever, just zap it. And Zeus electrifies the small creature. Nami falls over the hedge, bouncing off of the giant cat, as the hedgehog slams into the cat's head, still electrified, and that causes it to electrify the cat, releasing Usopp from the cat's mouth. As the two, Nami and Usopp, scream, what? As they look on in shock. Nami says, I have a bad feeling about this. And Usopp says, me too. I'm getting a good look at his suit. Man, Elbath Usopp looking good. He always goes for the big old beards. But the cat, now fried, glares down at them and then begins chasing them. Nami screams, what have you figured out so far, Usopp? Usopp says, same thing as you, right? I woke up and I was here. I remember we were getting drunk on the giant ship and Nami then says, that's right, the alcohol. Didn't he say it would make us hallucinate? She remembers the giant's words saying, this spirit is known as the Green Fairy. As they reach a bit of a dead end, they peek over and scream, finding themselves way too high up. Nami says it's a dead end. Usopp saying, so high up. As the cat closes in, Usopp says, you mentioned hallucinations, Nami. Maybe that means this cat is just a vision and isn't really here. He turns to the cat, with Nami going, huh? Usopp smiles saying, hallucinations can't hurt me. And as the cat gets even angrier, he swipes at Usopp, smacking him in the face. Nami freaks out, screaming out for Usopp, but the cat slams too hard into the side, causing both Nami and Usopp to go flying, plummeting to the ground below, with Nami screaming all the way down. Oh, what the hell? It's like they blacked out again. And when Nami comes to, she looks up, seeing a massive hungry lion in a crown now, instead of a cat. Nami questions, why is it a lion now? We're done for. Usopp, get up, open your eyes, we're about to die. As Usopp lies on the ground surrounded by bones, as the lion growls at her, she holds up Usopp, shrieking in terror. As Usopp says, don't use me as a shield. Suddenly, a very familiar voice calls out, oh, Nami. We haven't seen this kind of team attack since they took on that pacifista. All in Viking attire. Sanji, Luffy, and Zoro all come in on the lion. Sanji says, for the crime of making my beloved cry, death, Ifrit Jambe, Ipult Twister, or Ipult Strike? Okay, yeah. Luffy comes in with Gear 4, Gum Gum Elephant, Whip, and Zoro uses 3-sword style. Black Rope Dragon Twister. Oh, Usopp and Nami cry out in shock as the lion starts to fade and turns into the cat. What the heck? A devil fruit or just a transformation? Have we seen a lion devil fruit? I don't think so. Zoro looks up at the downed cat saying, the heck? It turned into a cat. Luffy perches on the creature saying, I'll pass on this one. That roast rabbit earlier was tasty enough already. Yeah, they took down the rabbit. Sanji jumps towards Nami saying, Nami, you had me worried. While Nami wipes her tears away saying, I was so scared, Sanji. Poor Usopp is dead. While Usopp lying on the ground says, alive, I'm alive. And I'm going to remember that you used me as a shield. There's some kind of weird sound. And someone says, not again. Luffy says, there's some other huge creatures around too. If they taste good, it's worth the trouble to whoop them. Zoro says, finding the sea and our ship comes first. We don't know how the rest of the crew is doing. While Sanji says, speaking of food, what about that hive and all the bees you knocked out? That's a respectable food service. Honey is very nutritious. While Nami says, why are you all so comfortable here? Where are we? And where's Chopper? Looks like the chapter's on break next week, but man, what a wild chapter. It's cool to see everyone in Viking attire. Can't wait to see the other Straw Hats in it too. So Big Stein Castle. Why is everything made out of Legos? We've never seen that before. Then again, Warland. Maybe there are various different regions across it and not just specifically Elbaf. And the World Tree Yggdrasil. Are there multiple giant trees across the land, I wonder? We've heard of Adam, we've heard of Eve, but why would the realms fall if Yggdrasil did? I'm really interested to figure out how they got here. Was it Luffy who drove them, or what? Man, absinthe is one hell of a drink, but I'm deeply interested to find out where this all leads to. Just sucks that we're on a break, but Oda deserves to take some time off from time to time. But there's not really much to glean from this chapter otherwise. It's just things happening. Not bad things, it's just the mystery. Oda really enjoys having blank periods where we know nothing about what happened. I do hope that the anime does maybe fill us in sometime, even if Oda ultimately doesn't, but we'll see. So let me know your thoughts on this chapter in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and hope to see you later. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.